The Mauritanian national football team, nicknamed Les Mourabitones, is the national team of Mauritania and is controlled by the FAR copyright DAO Fédération de Football de la République Islamique de Mauritanie and is a member of the Confederation of African Football. They have not qualified for the FIFA World Cup or Africa Cup of Nations. However, in the Amilcar Cabral Cup, a regional tournament for West Africa, Mauritania came fourth in 1980 on hosting the competition. They were later runners-up in 1995, losing on penalties to Sierra Leone after the final finished 0-0. Mauritania lost all 6 of their 2010 FIFA World Cup qualification matches, in a group that included Rwanda and Morocco. History 1963 Mauritania played its first match after independence from France on April 11, 1963, against Congo-Kinshasa and lost 6-0. The match was held in Dakar, Senegal as part of the FIFA copyright tournament between African sides. It also saw the debuts of Chad, Liberia and Niger. Mauritania lost its 3 other matches in the tournament, 2-0 to the Ivory Coast, 4-0 to Tunisia and 7-0 to Congo-Brazzaville. Mauritania's first goal and avoidance of defeat came 4 years after their debut, in 1967 with a 1-1 draw away in Tanzania. This was their first match since the FIFA copyright tournament in 1963. Mauritania entered their first African Games qualification campaign, in an aim to reach the 1973 finals in Nigeria. They were drawn in a group against Mali and Guinea in Guinea. The first game was lost 11-0 to Mali, and on May 20 Mauritania lost 14-0 to Guinea. Mauritania did not qualify. In May 1976 Mauritania entered qualification for the football at the 1976 Summer Olympics in Canada. They were drawn against neighboring Mali in a 2-legged qualifier. The first leg was lost 6-0 away on May 1, and the second leg was lost 1-0 at home on May 18. Mali did not qualify for the finals. Mauritania's first entrance into World Cup qualification was an attempt to reach the 1978 FIFA World Cup in Argentina. In March 1976 they were one of 4 countries put into 2 preliminary matches at the start of the African qualification campaign. Mauritania's preliminary was a 2-legged match against the Upper Volta and they drew the first match 1-1 away in Ouagadougou in March 13. This was their first competitive avoidance of defeat, and their first avoidance of defeat since 1967. On March 28, Mauritania lost their home leg in Nouakchott 2-0 and the Upper Volta advanced 3-1 on aggregate. On October 12, 1980, 17 years after their first game, Mauritania won for the first time by beating Mali 2-1 at home in a qualifier for the African Cup of Nations. Mali won 3-2 on aggregate, having won the first leg 2-0. 1998 FIFA World Cup qualification Mauritania entered qualification for the 1998 FIFA World Cup in France, which was their first entry in 20 years and second overall. Again, they were drawn to face Burkina Faso in a 2-legged preliminary. The first leg was played at home in Nouakchott in front of 15,000 people on May 31, 1996, 1 day before any other matches in the round. The match finished 0-0. The second leg was played at the Stade du Forat in Ouagadougou on June 16, 1996 in front of 13,000 people. Burkina Faso won 2-0 to advance to the final group phase. 2002 FIFA World Cup qualification Mauritania entered the qualification for the 2002 FIFA World Cup and were placed in a preliminary against Tunisia, who had qualified for the previous tournament. On April 7, 2000 they hosted Tunisia at the Stade Olympique in Nouakchott. A crowd of 10,000 saw Tunisia win 2-1 with second-half goals from Radi Jadi and Hassan Gabsi. In the second leg on April 22, 2000, Mauritania were beaten 3-0 at the Stade El Menza in Tunis. The match was watched by only 3,000, despite a capacity of 45,000 in the ground. Tunisia won 5-1 on aggregate and later qualified for the finals in South Korea and Japan. equals 2006 FIFA World Cup qualification equals Mauritania were drawn with Zimbabwe in the preliminary of the African section of the 2006 FIFA World Cup qualification. On October 12, 2003 they lost the away leg 3-0 at the National Sports Stadium in Harare in front of 55,000 people. In the home return at the Stade Olympique on November 14, 2003, Mauritania scored twice in the opening 10 minutes to win 2-1, their first victory in a World Cup match. However, Zimbabwe advanced for €2 on aggregate. Equals 2010 FIFA World Cup qualification equals, the African qualification process was altered for the 2010 FIFA World Cup. Only the 6 lowest-ranked nations played a preliminary, a selection which for the first time did not include Mauritania. Mauritania played in Group 8 of the second qualifying round against Rwanda, Morocco and Ethiopia, and started with an away match at the Stade Regional Nyamirambo in Kigali, Rwanda on May 31, 2008. They lost 3-0 in front of 12,000 people. The first home match was on June 7 at the Stade National in Nouakchott against Morocco. The Moroccans scored 2 in each half before a late penalty by Dominique da Silva of Mauritania made the game 4-1. On June 13, 2008 Mauritania hosted Ethiopia at the Stade National and lost 1-0 after an injury time winner from Saladin said. On June 22 Mauritania lost 6-1 in the away match versus Ethiopia at the Addis Ababa Stadium. The Ethiopian forwards Fikru Tefra and Andualam Nigussi scored 2 goals each in a match which also saw Bayehu of Mauritania sent off after 37 minutes, conceding a penalty to Fikru. The game was 1-1 at half-time. In September 2008 Ethiopia were expelled from the tournament due to government interferences in their football association and all of their results annulled. Only 1,000 people saw Mauritania's next game at the Stade National as they were beaten 1-0 by Rwanda on September 6 with a late goal by Bobo Bola. Mauritania finished their group campaign at the Stade Mouli Abdallah in Rabat, Morocco. Like the home game against the Moroccans, Mauritania were 4-0 down but scored the last goal, this time by Dalmedoud Tigadi. Although the Moroccan stadium had a capacity of 52,000, only 1,472 saw the match. Equals 2015 Africa Cup of Nations qualification equals, Mauritania beat Mauritius 1-0 in the first leg of a preliminary round qualifier for the 2015 Africa Cup of Nations in Nouakchott. SC Bastia's midfielder Adama Ba scored the only goal midway through the first half. The return leg in Pipe ended 2-0 in favour of Mauritania. Scorers were Demba Sow and Moulay Ahmed Bessam. In the first round, first leg match, Mauritania beat visitors Equatorial Guinea 1-0 in Nouakchott. The two sides headed into the break scoreless in their match played at Office du Complexe Olympique de Nouakchott. Hosts Mauritania broke the deadlock in the 76th minute through their Tunisian-based striker Ismael Diakata copyright. In the return match Equatorial Guinea beat Mauritania 3-0 in Malabo. Equatorial Guinea won 3-1 on aggregate. However, on July 3, 2014, the CAF announced that Equatorial Guinea were disqualified for fielding the ineligible player Thierry Fidou in the tie, and as a result, Mauritania advanced to the second round. Equatorial Guinea later qualified for the final tournament as replacement hosts. Equals 2017 Africa Cup of Nations qualification equals, the draw put Mauritania in Group M with South Africa, Cameroon and Gambia. The team lost their first match against Cameroon 0-1 thanks to a last-minute goal by Vincent Abubakar. They won their next game home in a 3-1 victory against the South African team in Nouakchott. The qualification matches will continue in March of 2016 when they will play 2 matches between the 23rd and 26th of the month both against Gambia. Competitive record. Recent and forthcoming matches. Equals 2013 equals. Equals 2014 equals. Equals 2015 equals. Current squad. the following players were called up for the 2018 FIFA World Cup qualification matches against South Sudan on 7 and 13 October. Caps and goals updated as September 5, 2015 after the match against South Africa. Recent call-ups equals, the following players have been called up for Mauritania within the past 12 months. Notes: INJ player withdrew from the squad due to an injury. References. External sources: Mauritania at national-football-teams.com